But in our culture, we make an extremely rigid division between work and play. You're supposed to work in order to earn enough money to give you sufficient leisure time for something entirely different called having fun or play. And this is the most ridiculous division of things, because everything that we do, however tough it is, however strenuous, can be turned into the same kind of play as I was showing you when I was completely fascinated with spinning that orange around my head. Let's, for example, take the situation that I ran into a little while ago. I was in the New York subway at 59th Street near Columbus Circle, and I wanted to get my shoes shined. So I went to get my shoes shined, and here was this black fellow who was making shoe shining a real art. He got his cloth, you know, which you spread out like this, and was going over my shoe. Like that. See? He was dancing while he was working. And he had just the same fascination in shining shoes as one has spinning this thing around one's head. You know, I've said that there are only 4 fundamental philosophical questions. The first is, who started it? The second is, are we going to make it? The third is, where are we going to put it? And the fourth is, who's going to clean up? Because I'm perfectly willing to wash dishes too, because the art of washing dishes is that you only have to wash one at a time. If you're doing it day after day, you have in your mind's eye an enormous stack of filthy dishes which you have washed up in years past, and an enormous stack of filthy dishes which you will wash up in years future. But if you bring in your mind to the state of reality, which is, as I've pointed out to you, only now, this is where we are. There is only now. You only have to wash one dish. It's the only dish you'll ever have to wash, this one. You ignore all the rest, because in reality, there is no past and there is no future. There is just now. So you wash this one. So the point is, therefore, that you can do everything you have to do in this spirit. Don't make a distinction between work and play. Regard everything that you're doing as play, and don't imagine for 1 minute that you've got to be serious about it. Now you see, living, like this plant, is something spontaneous. In Chinese, the word for nature is zhiran, which means that which happens of itself, not under any control of an outside boss. And they feel that all the world is happening so of itself. It's spontaneous. And so you stop this spontaneous flowering of nature cold if you tell it you must do it. It's like saying to someone, you must love me. Well, it's ridiculous. We all admire artists when we say they're unself-conscious. They seem so natural. But if you are a great artist, your so-called periods of practice, you will not do that effectively unless it is a pleasure for you. You have to come to the point where going over it again and again is a dance. See, this is the real secret of life. To be completely engaged with what you're doing in the here and now. And instead of calling it work, realize that this is play.